We all love watching videos of people sleeping. There's something so peaceful about them, right? They look so serene. You can't help but wonder what dreams they must be having. But this next video takes things to a whole another level. She was literally watching herself sleep online, which is pretty creepy. Let me explain. It's actually a story that happened to one girl, which was posted by her friend. And then she saw a comment pinned to the top of her phone live stream that said, "Look up," which she did. And above her, attached to her ceiling fan, was a small GoPro camera. And it wasn't recording her anymore, but she knew she needed to stop this somehow. She picked up her phone and called her mom. Who is doing this and why? Had they been there all along? Had they recorded her sleeping every night? What else did they know? How long had they known it for? She couldn't believe that this was really her best friend. These questions were running through her head and she needed answers. So she decided to investigate. So she knocked on her door and waited. That's why she had heard drilling noises last week, but she didn't pay much attention to it because she assumed it was just her mom. She knew she wouldn't hurt her, so she figured it'd be hilarious. But that wasn't the only reason. She knew she had to tell somebody, but she didn't know who. Days went by, weeks went by, but nothing happened. So she went inside and started looking for her. She looked everywhere, but she was nowhere to be found. That's when she saw it. When she got closer, she saw that it was an old abandoned asylum. And at that moment, she knew she had gotten herself into something way over her head. Her best friend had left a note on the table. If you want to hear more stories like this, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. It said, "I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen. Please forgive me. I love you." And then below it, she had written a string of numbers. When she saw it, she knew exactly what it was. It was a code. And when she decoded it, it led her to a location. Her best friend hadn't contacted her once. She knew something was wrong. She didn't know what to do. She was desperate. So she decided to pay her a visit. Should she tell her mom? No, she wouldn't care. Should she tell her dad? He had left them when she was young. And anyways, her mom would never let him take her anywhere. Should she call the cops? But what would she even tell them? That a girl put a camera in her wall to spy on her while she sleeps? They'd probably just laugh at her and tell her to grow up. So she decided to keep it to herself, but she couldn't sleep, eat, or focus on anything. There was something weird about her eyes. They looked empty, like she wasn't really there. She was too worried about what her best friend was doing. The second reason, she found out from one of her followers, who was a guy, that her best friend was obsessed with feet pics. And since she had gotten her foot pics, he wanted to take it a step further and get a pic of her sleeping. But while she was confessing all of this, the girl noticed something. And when she asked her best friend about it, she responded, "I haven't slept in days." And then she ran off. She had put the cameras there to spy on her, which was very scary. But she wasn't done yet. She had another secret to reveal. She had done sleepovers at her house. She had seen her underwear drawer. Why would she do this? She thought to herself, but before she could come up with any answers, the door opened and her best friend stepped out. And when she saw her, she instantly started apologizing profusely. She explained everything she had done and told her how sorry she was. She explained how she had managed to rig the camera in her house. Yeah, she got rigged real good. She could hear her mom pick up the phone and answer on the other side, but she didn't say anything. She ended the broadcast and tapped on her follower count, which showed her followers, but it also showed her viewers. And what she saw really scared her. There were more viewers than followers. Some of these people had been watching her for hours. So the question, how did they find her? Was it really her best friend? She needed to confront her. She just listened. She heard footsteps and then the door open. She was hoping her mom would see the live stream, catch whatever was happening on camera and shut it down, but she was wrong. Her mom just walked in and asked, "What did you want?" Then she hung up on her. And she didn't know why, but she wasn't surprised. Her mom always acted like this. She never cared about her or her life. Instead, it was recording her ceiling, which meant whoever put the camera there had already stopped recording. But then she starts getting dozens upon dozens of notifications on her phone saying, "Eerie live," which is very strange because she never streams. And even if she did, she would have turned on her phone's silent mode at night. But when she turned her phone over, she saw that she was indeed live streaming, but there was no camera in sight. The room was pitch black with only her white face lit up by the faint red dot from the camera somewhere in the room. And what made it creepier was the title of the stream, "Do Not Wake Her Up." It had been going for 8 hours too. This isn't some random person we're talking about. This is her best friend. She's known her since elementary school. She immediately ended the stream and tried to go back to sleep, but she couldn't. The creeping thoughts kept her up and she started looking for the camera. So basically, this girl goes to her room and turns on her computer, gets into bed and falls asleep. Nothing unusual so far, right? And finally, it was her computer, which was live. And while doing so, she saw a new notification pop up on her phone. It was from her laptop, which was also live. Now, this is where things get weirder. And if this is some sort of a prank, it's not funny anymore. And yeah, she really does mean it's not funny. Because after reading that comment, she went and checked her Discord, typed out "what the F" and hit send. But instead of seeing her best friend's reply, she saw an image of her own bedroom door with a live stamp on it. Then she saw another image, except this time it was her phone with the same stamp. At this point, she was terrified. She didn't know what to do, but now she felt completely alone and terrified. First, she went to her phone, which was still broadcasting live. She went over to her best friend's house, but she wasn't home. She had done it by drilling a hole in her wall and putting the camera in there. Her best friend had recorded her for 2 reasons. The first reason, she wanted to prank her. She didn't know what to do. Was she just messing around, or was she gonna do something worse? When she got there, she saw that her front door was unlocked and she was nowhere to be seen. She drove over there and saw her best friend standing in front of a building. This video was based on a true story.